Foxella fam, Happy New Year! I'm Todd and welcome to Baking with Foxella Kitchen. This week I want to show you how to make bacon cheddar jalapeno cornbread muffins. They are the perfect side dish for any hearty bowl of chili or bowl of soup. So if you're ready, then let's have some fun. Okay, to start off our muffins, we're going to go ahead and preheat our oven for 425 degrees. And we have our muffin pan laying out here. We're going to go ahead and line our muffin pan with anywhere between 12 and 14 liners. And then once we get this lined, we'll start on mixing up our muffins. Alright, to start off our muffins, we're going to go ahead and start with a cup of flour, cup of cornmeal, 5 tablespoons of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and we're just going to whisk that together. Just so it's just good and combined. Okay, now set this aside and go on to our wet ingredients. Alright, next up for our wet ingredients, we're going to add a cup of buttermilk at room temperature.
Buttermilk, that sounds good.
Oh yeah, buttermilk is good for baking, but between you and me, it's not very good for drinking. I know a lot of the older generation likes drinking it, but that is not something for me. We're going to add 6 tablespoons of butter, like I said. You got me a little tripped up there, but you want it melted and cold. And then lastly, we're going to take 1 egg and 1 egg yolk, or as Dave likes to call it, yolk, and just going to whisk it together just so everything is good and combined here. You shouldn't see any of the egg yolk when you're all said and done here. That means you got everything mixed in nicely all together. And it sounds like our oven is preheated, so we're good to go on that step. Okay, I think we're good to go here. Let's go ahead to our next step. Next up, because bacon makes everything better, we're going to cook off just enough bacon for half a cup of bacon to add to our recipe. Okay, now that we've got our wet ingredients good and combined, we're going to go ahead and add them to our dry ingredients. And we're just going to go ahead and mix this together till everything is just combined. And then we got some fun things to add to it. What do you think, Dave? What do you think this looks like here?
I think it looks like a little bit of like cornbread at this point.
Cornbread?
Cornbread. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how everything turns out. And I'm super excited to share this recipe. This is a good way to kick off the new year. And basically just a whole new chapter for Foxella Kitchen. So...
absolutely.
Yeah, I think. What do you think, Dave? Do you think this looks
pretty well done there?
Okay.
We're ready to go.
Okay. Next up, we're going to add. Once I get all the mixture here off of our whisk here, we're going to add half a cup of our bacon that we cooked off here earlier.
Well, bacon makes everything better.
Well, of course. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, we are making cheddar jalapeno bacon cornbread muffins, so
yes.
We're going to add a 7-ounce can of corn, because you can't have corn without cornbread. And then, because you're awesome, you cut up the half cup of chopped jalapenos. And what's one important thing to do whenever you're cutting jalapenos or any spicy pepper?
Always wear gloves.
Yes. And why is that, our friends?
So you don't rub yourself in the eye and
burn yourself. Look how colorful this is. These just look really, great. really awesome. The green just makes everything pop, so... Okay. What do you guys think here at home? Let me know in the comments. See what you guys think so far. And we'll just get this good and combined here. And then once I get this good and combined, we're going to set it aside and go to our next step. One last thing to add before we go ahead and divvy up our muffins here. We're going to go ahead and take half a cup of shredded cheddar cheese. Look how just bright and colorful this is. This is going to be so awesome here.
Does look fantastic. I think they're going to be good.
They're going to be cheesy. They're going to be bacon. Should have a little bit of heat to them. And of course, cornbread.
Cornbread.
So you can't go wrong with cornbread. Can't go wrong with bacon. You can't go wrong with cheese. And you definitely can't go wrong with jalapenos. So go ahead and get this all mixed in. And then we'll go ahead and get ready and divvy this up into our muffin pans. Now before we go ahead and divvy up our batter, we're going to go ahead and do our first ever Ask Fox Hollow segment, which this week's question comes to us from our friends over at Pepper Tree Villa. They want to know what our baking preferences are. Well, we got the choice of cookies, cakes, or pies. Well, I have a sweet tooth for basically everything. But I would have to say my favorite has to be cookies, because I mean that's the first thing I ever really got to learn how to make. What about you, Dave?
Oh, I think the cookies are more fun. I think that's, little bite-sized things. I think that's more fun.
Pies, I'm starting to get a little more acquainted with now and to get myself a little more comfortable. And then cakes, you can't go wrong with cake. I mean, my favorite one growing up has always been chocolate cake with peanut butter icing. And my sister actually makes a really awesome chocolate cake with peanut butter icing. So you could say baking kind of runs in my blood here. So there's that. Let's go ahead and divvy up our batter. Got our spoon here. Well, maybe a little less here. These just look so cool together. And what would you guys think would be an awesome main dish to go along with these muffins? Would you guys just eat them by yourself? Or how would you serve these with? What would you serve these with? Let me know down in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and divvy these up, and then I'll show you what they look like before we pop them in the oven. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put these in the oven at 425 degrees for 5 minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and turn our oven down to 350 degrees and bake it for another 11 minutes until our toothpick comes out clean in the middle. It's time for my favorite part, the taste test. So let's see how we did here. So good, you guys. The corn, the jalapeno, the bacon, and the cheddar all complement each other perfectly. It's like a party in your mouth and everyone's invited. Enjoy. Wrapping up today, I want to thank you again for joining me and encourage you to check out our friends and support channels listed in the description below. But before I go, always remember, good times and good food on Baking with Fox Hollow Kitchen. I'll see y'all soon. If you like this video or any of our other videos,
be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons and stay tuned for future shows.